Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, the 15th chapter, beginning at verse 15. Now this I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God. Neighbors who corrupt inherit incorruption. Behold, I show you a mystery. We shall not all sleep. We shall all be changed in a moment, in the twinkling of an eye, at the last trump. For the trump shall sound, and the dead shall rise incorruptible, and we shall be changed. For this corruptible must put on incorruption, and this mortal must put on immortality. So when this corruptible shall put on incorruption, and the mortal shall have put on immortality, then shall be brought to pass the saying that is written, death is swallowed up in victory. O death, where is thy sting? O grave, where is thy victory? For the sting of death is sin, and the strength of sin is the law. We're going to talk a little while this afternoon from the thought, adjust, adapt, and overcome. Adjust, adapt, and overcome. No secret, I think most people know that myself and Mert were Marines. I stayed in 4 active years, and I got out. He stayed in for 24 years and some odd months. And they would often tell us when things were difficult that sometimes you have to change your circumstances. Sometimes you have to change the way that you do things. But failure was not an option. So you make some adjustments, you adapt, and you overcome whatever situation that it is you're dealing with. There's no question in my mind today that most of you know that Marines are very unique people. Once you are a Marine, you are a Marine for life. The way we do things is not like ordinary people do things. The way we think is not the way ordinary people think. We have our own fashion, we have our own way of thinking, and I'm pretty sure Miss Barbara, when Meredith left home and he came back, there was a whole different person. And it does cause us to grow up. Many of us, when we enter the service, are young, we're fresh out of high school, don't know much. We get into something and we think we know what we're getting into, and you're sitting around homesick and sad and miss mom and daddy and your friends. And you feel in the beginning that you'll just do your time and you'll head on back home. Mert's dream was to come back to McKeesport, if I'm saying it right, after he was done with the Marine Corps. But somehow, some way, Virginia got a hold on him. And as Billy said, he loved McKeesport. He loved Pittsburgh. We got into it one time because he would tell everybody he was from Pittsburgh. He was a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. And I knew something about McKeesport, and I said, you ain't from Pittsburgh. You from McKeesport. But that's two totally different places. So I used to say I was from Richmond. Folks that while in the service didn't know where you were from, you couldn't tell me you were from some little hick town called Oldham, Virginia. You know, you had to make up something that was familiar. So I said I was from Richmond. So he said, well, you ain't from Richmond either. Well, I'm closer to Richmond than you are to Pittsburgh. That was the debate. But there was this little place called Westmoreland, Virginia, where I'm from. And I came out here a few years ago to preach at a funeral in Westmoreland. And I came around through here and I looked just to be able to tell him that I had been to McKeesport. So I had been here. This is my second time coming. In a lovely place, a wonderful place, and I can see why Mert always wanted to come back home. But adjusting, adapting, and overcoming is to say that when you you are. You deal with the circumstances. You deal with the situation. When Mert got in Virginia, there with me, say this, we never could shake one another. When we was at Lejeune, he got orders and he was going to Okinawa. And I said, where you going? He said, I'm going to the Rock. I said, where's the Rock? That's in Japan. You know, he said, don't worry, I'll see you in 6 months. I said, man, I don't know where no Japan at. I don't want no rock at, I don't want no bar at. And he went on to Okinawa, and we were writing back and forth and everything. And I got orders 6 months. Like he said, 6 months later, I got orders to Okinawa. And didn't know, I'm a little country boy. Didn't have flown in a plane before. I was petrified. But I got to Okinawa. Didn't tell him I was coming. And I went down to the base that he was stationed on, and the guy took me into his room, took the key and opened it up and went into his room. And I tore his rack up. I threw the mattress in the floor and slung the blankets all over the place. And left him a post-it note that said, Dixie was here. Left my phone number. So we got together. And Mert told my wife, I thought it was awful strange. Mert said, I want to take you to lunch. And Mert was tight. Mert was skinny. Mert said he was thrifty. Mert want to take you to lunch or dinner, you better question. So, I'm going to take you to lunch, Bitsy. Come on down here. So we went down to Naha, to McDonald's. And Mert pulled up to the window and Mert said, order whatever you want to order. And so I ordered a bunch of stuff. And I said, Mert, I ain't for your food this today now. I got my own money. You're going to give me and embarrass me. He said, no. Get what you want to get. Bitch, stop. Get what you want to get. So I got a bunch of food. He got a bunch of food. And the little Japanese girl gave him the total. Mert reached down by his feet and picked up this big bag. Yen is like penny, but the size of a silver dollar. And one about would take 300 yen to a dollar. So that yen was in our pennies, but it was 3 pennies. And he took that big bag again, he flung it up on that thing, and the girl swung it back and forth and threw it back in the car. And she said, oh, no, free, leave. Went down to the manager, and the manager made her leave. And I told her, I didn't feel this the first time you did this. But it worked, and we had plenty of lunch. And all was well. We had a good time on Okinawa. I could mention, I'll be all along if I tell you all the stories dealing with Meredith, Duane. But we're here in this hour, and it's a sad hour. It's not an hour that we would want to see. You know, I did win the bet, but I wish I hadn't won this one. And we're here to pay our last respects. And I'm saying that to say this. Me and my wife went to a funeral about a month ago. I saw a group called Soul Nippers out of Westmoreland, Virginia. And the lead singer died. And we went to his funeral. The pastor called it a home-going celebration. He never mentioned Walker's name. He preached a nice sermon. It was a good message. But he didn't say one thing about the deceased. So I just like to say to folks, contrary to popular belief, we are at a funeral. I am mad. I am sad. I am upset. I am hurt. I'm heartbroken. And, you know, folks will say, well, you know, we're supposed to rejoice when somebody dies and weep when somebody is born. But I haven't got that thing right. You know, I'm 56 years old, and I haven't got that concept yet. I'm missing something. I am missing a person that is, like I said, many folks have many titles in this room, but I'm missing a person that has always been there for me. We were so much alike. We laughed, we cried together. We've done so many different things together, always there for one another. And folks are standing here today and say, well, I can tell you the last thing that he said to me. But I went to play golf in his subdivision, and it got dark on me, and I tried to get out. But the GPS wouldn't let me get out. And I'm a Marine. I go shopping, I don't ask nobody for nothing. I should store until I find it. I was in the subdivision. I ain't calling him because I'm going to search until they get out of here. But he kept leading me to another gate, and it was a code to get out the gate. And I said, well, now I know I got to call him. So I called him and I said, Mert, I'm in this subdivision of yours. It's got dark, I'm lost, I need your help. So he said, well, 50, where are you? So I'm at the back gate. I ain't got no code. So he said, well, I'm going to come and get you. Then he said, no, man, I'm in the bed. And I ain't getting there at the bed. So he was telling me, make a right, you see this road, make a left, make a right. You know, he said, oh, straight right down, you should be coming past my house. And I looked over to my left, and there was his house. He said, well, can I go to sleep now? I said, oh, no. I've been lost up in this room for an hour and a half. I said, until I see that sign that says front gate, the people will be on the phone with me. So when I saw the sign that said the front gate, I said, get off my phone. I don't need you no more. And I hung up on him. So he called me back. He said, 50. You didn't tell me you loved me. I've been telling you I love you for 30-some years. And one time I make it yes! Yes! You didn't say you love me. So I said, I love you, Bert. He said, I love you too, Fitzy. I'm going back to sleep. That was my last conversation with Bert. So it's like I can say that the last conversation was, I love you. And he did tell me that a lot. I went back in our June days, and he was latching on to me, and I was wondering about him. I said, Meredith, I wanted to ask her, you all right? He said, well, what do you mean by that? We awful close. He said, oh, Fitzy, I like girls. Ain't no playing I know I'm good now, but I'm good. But I love messing with her. We had a wonderful time. In all situations we found ourselves in, we find like Paul, we learn how to be content. Mert was a happy person. Mert was a person that, like I said, you heard people say he liked to fish. Mert loved his children. Mert loved his wife. You know, she was telling me the other day we were in a good place. They talked about going to Niagara Falls sometime soon or whatever, and she said we were in a real good place. And all the kids, they love him. I don't know if all of y'all know, but Teddy is my goddaughter. Back when we was living up on Bright Hill, when Teddy was born, he said, Dixie, Minnie's water broke. You going to the hospital? Where is that? I ain't going to the hospital. Call me when you get back. So they came back with a little girl. But I can go back a little further and tell y'all this. When he used to sing to me, he sang 2 songs. And that Roxanne song, whatever it is, Roxanne, whatever your name. So he got on one night, he said, I'm marrying Roxanne, and he said, and I'm gonna have a daughter named Teddy. You're gonna be the godfather. And all that did come to pass just as he said, or whatever. So they came over one night. I was very particular. They came over to my apartment one evening. I was laying in that sleep. And they snuck in, and they put Teddy's crib right beside the sofa where I was, and they eased on out. And I woke up and saw that crib right past, I was petrified. Because when Teddy was born, if I walked in the room and said, hello, she started crying. Every time I say something, she would cry. And I said, oh my God, if this baby wakes up tonight, it's over for her. She ain't gonna stop crying. And when Teddy woke up, she smiled at me. She was wet. I changed her, put her back in there, put her in her night in her pajamas, and put her in that crib, and she slept till the next morning. So I told her, I said, y'all thought y'all got me and Teddy had a good time. And so it was different things that happened in life. We were young, we were feeling our way through life, and Minnie Roxanne was like a sister to me, and Mert like a brother to me. You know, if they ever got into it or whatever, they put me up in the middle, I was doing a rock and hard piece. But how are you going to go against your sister or your brother? And I ain't talking about that fake stuff like some folks say, oh, you know, that's my sister, that's my brother. This is real. This is really real. And that's how we were, and we grew up together through every situation. And we somehow have made it this far. And I'll say there's no way in the world that I thought at 55 that we would be standing here doing this today. But in all fairness, I'll go back to what I was saying. Death is something that we don't like. But according to the scriptures, death has a job. Everybody got a job. You know, I know my purpose in life. And nobody wants to hear about death. Nobody wants to talk about death. I could probably have a conversation with my wife right now about death, and she don't want to hear it. They want to talk about it. But there's some things that we do need to talk about. So when Minnie Roxanne reminded us that day that one of y'all are going to leave here, y'all thick as thieves, and the other one is going to hurt because the other one is going to be gone. I I just say it feels today like somebody has chopped off my right arm. It's just unbelievable. I'm numb, but he's gone. And we have to accept the fact. But the Bible talks about these changes in life and the things that man will have to endure, the things that man have to deal with. And death is probably one of the most serious things that man have to contend with. I lost a son. He lived for 1 hour and he died. And I cried for days, but tears dried up. And I still had to live. I still had to function. When I prayed about it, God said, I will give you another son. And he did. And Leonard Jr. died, so Leonard 52nd is now 30 years old. A few years younger than him. But he one of the kids around the same age as him. So the Lord giveth and the Lord taketh away. Tay has 2 new babies in her house, but her dad is gone. So she's joyful on one hand, but she's weeping on another hand. It might sound strange, but it is something good about life that you get to live. And we're all here this afternoon, and we are still here. Some folks are complaining, whining, upset, looking for something bad to say, some mischief to get into, instead of realizing that life in itself is not guaranteed. That you could be here today and gone tomorrow. That Cadillac you drive and you could wreck it on the way out the parking lot. I had a pickup truck, put all kinds of money into it, but you know what? Somebody ran into the back of it and destroyed it, and it's gone. And this is the way that life works. We're going to lose things, we're going to gain things, and sometimes when we lose it, it don't feel good. Now, I lost today. I don't know about you, what you might be going through in life, but we've lost something here today that is special to everybody under the sound of my voice. And when in talking with the kids, I found that death has plagued this family in the recent days. Could have put a lot of pressure on Meredith, just like it's putting on each and every one of you that have lost somebody. This coronavirus going around and is wiping folks out. There's not anybody, probably under the sound of my voice, that haven't lost somebody to this virus, or know somebody that died from this virus. Brother preacher, what's good about it? It's something that was created by God, and there was a purpose to it. Perhaps we may never understand it, but this virus is going to leave, and there's going to be others. There's always going to be situations and circumstances that set us back, that mess with our emotions. My mother is gone. My father is gone. My son is gone. I've lost a lot of folks. I was trying to eulogize one of my former pastors, and I couldn't do it because I couldn't get past the tears. I tried to eulogize my grandmother on the mother's side, and I couldn't get past the tears. And now here I stand here with somebody that I dearly love, and I wouldn't dare say it any other way. It's gone, and I'm hurting, and I'm upset, and it hurts real bad, cuts real deep. But I began to think about Jesus this afternoon. Mary and Martha sent for Jesus. And they said, this person, your friend that you love, Lazarus, he is sick and we need you to come and see about him. Jesus told his disciples that Lazarus was asleep. They had to go wake him up, but I'm going to hang around here for a couple of more days. And the Bible said Jesus stayed there until he decided he wanted to go to see about his friend. And it said when he got there, Mary and Martha was there. And I believe that Mary stayed back at the house. Martha came and met him on the road. And she said, Jesus, if you had been here before now, Lazarus, our brother, would not be dead. But don't worry about it. We'll see him again in the general resurrection. Y'all ain't gonna pray with me this afternoon. We'll see him again when the time comes. And she was crying. The Bible said Jesus began to mourn in the spirit. Show me where you laid him. And when they took Jesus down by the graveside, She began to cry and she said, Daddy is passed away. He's gone. He was fishing with Billy and somebody else, and he's gone. And I was floored. I was shocked. And I know how Jesus felt when they said to him, oh, he's dead now. He's been gone for a long time. His body stinks. There ain't nothing you can do about that now, but we appreciate you coming anyway. And Jesus called Lazarus to come out from that grave. Which brings me to this point. To let you know that Mert knew the Lord. Mert loved the Lord. Mert had a heart for anybody that ever got picked on. And he would defend them. But when I established that Mert did love the Lord, I told him, I said, well, Mert, I'm called to preach. And I can't do a whole lot of things other folks do because I got to prepare myself. I was called to preach at 16, met Mert at 18, 19 years old. I said, I'm called to preach. I can't be fooling around. I got to keep myself together and do whatever it takes to prepare for my ministry. He said, well, I'm saved. I'm sanctified, Holy Ghost filled. He said, and now I'm going fishing. Hello, somebody in here. I ain't got to go to church every Sunday. See, I'm saved. I'm going to heaven when I die. I'm good to people. I don't lie and steal. You know, I told y'all he drink that moonshine, but I never heard a word getting no accidents. He didn't get drunk and beat up nobody, rob nobody, rape nobody, hurt anybody. He just drunk his moonshine. He would sleep. Sing sometimes before he went to sleep. So it was a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful soul. And I'll say this, that somehow, some way, perhaps you feel slighted today, and you say to yourself, well, Daddy's gone, Uncle's gone, you know, friend is gone, cousin's gone, my fishing buddy, I don't have anymore. I can give him plenty of titles, and the Lord knows he has been good to me, a wonderful friend. And now there's a void there. And I don't know how I would ever fill the void. But he said to me one day, Victor, if I go before you, you're going to have to give me a good send-off. And he laughed. It was a joke, but it came to pass. Now we are here. And I just got a few more things to say, and I'm going to leave you alone. But I came out here today to say I love my brother. I'm going to miss my brother, but God had a better plan. And I want you to know that we all have an expiration date. Set your house in order, because you do not know the day nor the hour that your time is going to be up. And I just want to look back at Job for a second here. I've seen folk crying today. I've shed a few tears myself. I've been crying for a few weeks now. And I was up here blowing snot bubbles, trying to get myself together to prepare to deliver this message, hoping somehow, some way that I could get through it. And God sent some by here that have helped me out. And now I'm beginning to feel all right about it. Didn't know that this was going to be the day nor the hour that Mert was going to check out and leave us. But I remember when Job, in all his suffering, the Bible said Job cried. The Bible said he suffered. They said his friends came by and mourned with him for a little while. After the mourning stage was over with, somebody looked at him and said, Job, what did you do to offend God? Job said, I just did yesterday what I did today and what I'm going to do tomorrow. But he said, let me tell y'all something while you're looking to find fault in me. He said, a man that is born of a woman is but a few days and full of trouble. Come up like a beautiful tree, then is cut down, can't continue in one state. I come to let you know this morning that we did not come here to stay, but in yet a little while leave this place. And I'm wondering this afternoon, is your heart fixed? Is your mind made up? I'm looking at Paul now, and he said, I fought a good fight. I kept the faith, but my job is done. I finished my course. I'm going on home. Well, some of us might know that we're going to die. Meredith died suddenly. Don't know if he did a whole lot of suffering, but we do know that Meredith did die. And I come to let you know we're going to cry, we're going to hurt at our loss. But one of these days, things are going to start to get better. I heard David when he said, weeping may endure for a night, but joy is going to come in the morning. You go ahead on and cry if you want to. You can call this a homegoing celebration if you want to. But I call it a funeral, and my friend had died, and he's going on home to glory. I want to be in that number one day that I haven't heard the voice for the last time. But I realize that no matter how good you are, no matter how healthy you are, no matter how many friends that you have, no matter how much money that you got, that one of these days death is going to come knocking on your door. I come to let you know I feel like Paul, that I know that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of heaven. So I come to let you know that one day I'm going to die, and the Bible lets us know that ain't no respect of person. We all got to make that same trip. I wish y'all would pray with me here. You can sit there all quiet still if you want to, but I'm not going to keep on hurting. I'm not going to keep on rocking from side to side, hoping that the situation is not you. Because I know one day, just as Meredith laying in this casket, I'm going to have to take the same path. There was a lady, she was walking home from work, and another lady with her grandson. And he said, Grandma, why is that lady always walking through that graveyard? She said, well, her home is on the other side. And the only way that she can get home, she has to go through that graveyard. Y'all not praying with me here. But I realize that one day I'm going to have to die. They're going to take me, the undertaker's going to come and get me. He's going to take me back to his funeral parlor. He's going to dress me up in a nice suit. He's going to do all the things that it takes. So I look pretty when the family comes to view me. They're going to take me to church. They're going to wheel me down the front. They're going to put me up on the front. Everybody's going to be looking at me. The preacher's going to say a few words.